Hello, Dr. May. We're going to ask you if the parents had been allowed to talk to the girls that first time they came to Abuja, rather than, I mean, as authorities there say, look, we need to ensure that they're properly rehabilitated before sending them to the parents.
Okay.
Anything wrong with that strategy?
Yeah, it's really not a bad strategy because reintegration is a systematic and a gradual process. You know, the parents might be thinking that they know their children, okay, but the radicalization process will have turned them from the children they used to know. So that's why they must take adequate time, care in making sure that these children can be able to accept their parents the way they are before the reintegration. Now, it's also important that they interact with their parents in the full glare of their caregivers and people managing them. That way, they will be able to have a feeling that, oh, we are really free. It's a question of time before we'll be fully reintegrated with our parents. And reintegration, you know, it's a gradual process. So they have to go through the psychological debriefing and rehabilitation, as well as the physical rehabilitation before they are fully released to their parents. And it's not a day's job. It is a gradual process.
Now that we've not had the, as you said, it is important to make that communication link. Now that we don't have that communication link established between the girls that are released and their parents, how potentially problematic or how potentially dangerous is this situation? You are a psychologist. How does this affect the parents on the one side and the children, the girls, on the second hand?
Okay. From the parents' perspective, it looks like too close yet too far because, you know, they want to reunite with their children as soon as possible. But due to the peculiar nature and the security implication of the situation, it might not just be forthcoming. However, it will help them a great deal having access to these words. Okay, and that is what the people that were rehabilitating could have planned to make sure that at least the parents can have access to these children as, if not often, but as many times as they want to, or while they are still in other protective custody during the rehabilitation program. Now, on the part of the children, it's the same kind of psychological issue. They will be wondering, are we really free indeed? Because they are still in a kind of incarceration, but this time in a regulated one. So, and if they are given enough access to interact with their parents, okay, it will help in their healing process. It will make it faster. But because of the security implication, that's why I think they are restricting movement until they are sure the children are well rehabilitated before the.
So, in other words, you are actually okay with the stance of the government up to this time, or would you advise otherwise?
Well, what I would have added is how frequent do they interact with their parents? I don't know how frequent. And in the process of reintegration, after the initial rehabilitation, I think the interaction between parents and the world should be more frequent now to ease the tension and to start making them acquainted to one another once more before they are finally released to the parents.
When you say adequate time, I mean, I don't understand. What does that mean? And that because of the security implication, what time is adequate here?
The time that is adequate is the time it takes them to heal. It could vary according to individuals, you know. Now, during the process of rehabilitation, they are going to be debriefed. They are going to ask them a lot of questions, what they know and their belief system, okay? And this takes time depending on individual. So, usually, the period they mapped out for them for this process to take place, which is going to be determined by the psychologists and the response they're getting from the words, determines the adequate time. And they will prime them to know how well they are doing and how willing they could be able to go back. because another important thing there is their willingness to go back. Okay? So some of these things are primed as the rehabilitation program is going on. And the psychologist will be able to know, okay, this person is ready for reintegration. Because it's after rehabilitation, they now talk about reintegration. In the reintegration, it's a two-way thing. The society, are they willing to accept them? Where they're going to? Are they going to cast a John-Dyke eyes on them? Then these are things that must be done systematically. So it's not a one-way thing. But the interaction between the parents, yes, is very important and adequate in bringing them back.
So if I understand what you're saying, the parents being allowed to talk to the girls the day they came to Abuja in the glare of the security agencies will jeopardize the rehabilitation.
It will not jeopardize it. Okay, it will ease the process of reintegration. And that's what I'm advocating now. Depending on the state they are in the rehab program now, they will incorporate frequent interaction with the parents. Okay, that will ease the reintegration.
When the situation arises and the rehabilitation process is on and then the questioning of the girls is going on as well, how much information gotten from the girls do you think is able to assist the interrogators and the negotiators and the government to get the other girls remaining released?
Can you come again? I didn't get that question.
Yes, when these interrogations and the questioning of the girls and the rehabilitation process of the girls, when the questions are asked and the informations are gotten from the girls, how well can this information help the government and their negotiators get the rest of the girls freed?
The girls are insiders, probably. They could describe exactly what happened while in camp. And then whatever information government is getting from them could be classified. And they could be utilized in seeing how well they could deal with other children. Remember, we had a clue the other day that some said they are not going to come back. That is Stockholm syndrome. It's expected because in as much as you want them to come back, do they really want to come back over time? These are some of the things the information could provide, and they'll be able to know how to deal with it.
All right, Dr. Charles Ume, clinical psychologist, thank you for talking to us this morning.